ground this motorcycle has covered. Do we know around what time this all started?
We launched Desmond probably about 10:45, I believe. Yeah, 10:42 is what time I texted him. So that's what time we first started hearing about this. But yeah, he went eastbound for a while, and then for a second I thought maybe he was gonna try to ditch the bike because he got off in Ontario just kind of.
Wow.
Oh, look at that. What? Look at
Shit, here comes the cop.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cruiser's keeping up with them.
Yeah. Yeah, this CHP officer is very skilled in getting around, but I mean, you see just how dangerous this is, not just for the motorcyclist, but for that officer as well, because
dude, he's going 140 miles an hour.
What everyone else is going, and they have to just react that much more quickly. Everyone around them, they're wanting to try to get over to the right, but then everything is just happening so fast that it's just very dangerous for everyone involved. Now, they are putting a little bit of distance right now, but, like Mike was saying there, I think maybe the authorities may have just gotten lucky tonight with having kind of right place, right time with the airship to keep a visual of the suspect because, like I said,
there we go.
times,
Arab, what's up?
Almost nightly, these guys get away. Now on the right-hand shoulder where there could be debris,
damn,
a motorcycle, he could just clip anything right there and
dude,
completely
he's going
lose control.
so fucking fast right now.
Also in a construction
hey, Sean, what's
zone
up? Contra, what's up?
So CHP is almost certainly going to at least temporarily disengage this pursuit whenever they go through a construction zone like this. We hear them, they actually say 1022 like they're canceling. They usually re-engage once it's safe, but I mean, look at this. Into the gore point, onto the right-hand shoulder to get away.
They do the 1022 scam where they say we're done, but they're not really done.
Right
Analytic, what's up? Rusty, what's up?
Before, unfortunately, it only could take a pebble to just get underneath that bike, and he could be disengaged. We certainly don't want to see that happen, but we have
RG, what's up? Liam, how's it going?
Before. So there are a number of obstacles, as you talked about, Desmond, with construction zones or just any kind of debris being on the freeway. Is this still Baldwin Park?
Okay, good.
Is he getting off?
Well, he's getting off now.
Oh, no. Yeah, I believe it. I'm not sure which division it is. At one point, I had heard Baldwin Park that they were wanting to re-engage if they had the units, but we're getting off the freeway now at Azusa. I mean, we just saw speeds of about 140 miles an hour. They were going about as fast as we can in SkyCal. Now turning back around, I've got to imagine that this rider needs a little bit of a break after
he just came and drove right by the fucking helicopter. Yo, Subatomic Chata, what's up?
And, let's remember, these motorcycles don't have very big gas tanks, and so the faster you go, the quicker they're going to go through that gas. That's how we've seen some of these.
Sasha, what's up? Charles, yo.
The authorities have been able to stick with them. Is that they basically just
yeah, he should be able to get away.
CHP, they
like
a
lot of times when we see chases like this one, they don't last very long.
What they're thinking now,
but here they are, right behind them.
Definitely going to elevate the danger for everybody involved.
It does, and unfortunately, it seems that with most of the motorcyclists that we've seen, the want has just been speed. And when I say just been speed, it's not as if they are. Want to.
I had just walked outside to go for a walk, and then our guy, El Homer and Grand Poobah both let me know, so shout out to them.
Stopped at a light. I know you guys will never forget this one when the officers just got tired and went over and pushed the guy down. Pushed him off the bike, said, okay, enough of this.
You remember that, guys?
Ended peacefully.
That wasn't very long ago.
No one was injured during that whole pursuit. And sometimes they don't end as common
Jammer, usually don't go like that.
It does end more common.
It could.
That's for sure. But the danger is even more so now because they're still on surface streets.
And Mike, I want to talk to you about the different tactics that also
I'm not sure, Sean.
use when we're talking about a motorcycle versus a car. But CHP officers right behind this suspect, maneuvering very well. Desmond talked about this officer being very skilled, being able to keep up with this motorcyclist.
In Michigan?
You kind of nailed it right there on the head, Chauncey. I mean, when you have a motorcycle, the bag of tricks that CHP has almost completely goes away. You can't do a pit maneuver. You can't do spike strips, you can't really block them in. All of that kind of goes out the window here. So at this point, I mean, this is a follow and wait till the guy runs out of gas or gives up and tries to run or does something. But the dangers, increase significantly when we get onto surface streets here, especially when you.
Oh, we didn't do the prediction. Let's do the prediction.
Trying to keep up with this guy. I mean, you're doing 80 miles
Where's
an hour
the scentless
now down
apprentice?
Surface Street here, and
Do
that
I not
could
have
end
another
very
window? Hold
poorly
on,
very
guys, sorry.
quickly. And there's another. It looks like a unit maybe blocking an intersection there. But yeah, I mean they don't have a lot of choices but to follow and wait till this guy wants to be done or is forced to be done because the motorcycle runs out of gas.
The question: they can run that plate, right?
Yeah, and I haven't heard them run it yet, and I don't know if that's because, for a long time with these, that's the other thing with these motorcycles, they get going so fast, these units can't get close enough to get a license plate. But now that we've been on surface streets for a little bit, we'll be interesting to see if they're able to get a plate.
If you're on Twitch, use your channel points, gamble your channel points.
The reason I ask that too is if sometimes, if they know where this person lives, if he's in a vicinity where it looks like
if you're on YouTube, hit the thumbs up.
His address. Sometimes they will let it go if it's just wanted for speed, and knowing that they will catch up with him later.
They usually give up on this
stuff. They'll go to his house and wait for him to come home.
This doesn't usually go on like this.
But now we're getting back on the freeway, which is at least good news for people on the surface streets.
He's gaming. Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah, that's correct. And this is at least the second or even third diversion kind of on and off the freeway that we know that this suspect has done. It started on the 10, went out of Ontario, kind of danced around some surface streets there, then came back west on the 10, and then was around Ontario Airport, actually cut down to the 60 from the 10, and then on the freeway, then we were just off and now back on as we now head back to the Inland Empire. So, again, just wondering if that driver was kind of just looking for a little bit of a break from the adrenaline of going up to 140 miles an hour at one point, or what the tactic is. But yeah, they are still just continuing to book it. I mean, what else is going on here besides speed that you're willing to really gamble with your own life? And it's not an over-exaggeration. I mean, we have obviously
they did the first. No, you're kidding me, right?
Motorcycle pursuits that have ended in the worst way possible.
MK, what's up?
Very, very violently, and I mean, you wonder how someone is willing to do this. And we've all encountered it on Southern California freeways. If it's, lane splitting at 65, 70 miles an hour, or you're going 65, 70, they're going 120, they're just darting all over the place. I mean, there is definitely some motorcycle madness in Southern California, and here is a perfect example of it tonight.
And a lot of semis on the road, too, in Southern California. And he certainly has passed.
Yeah, you can see this anywhere in the country.
That's always pretty scary when you think about, but it wouldn't even take a semi. It could just take anything. As we mentioned, a pebble or another vehicle.
A fucking pebble?
Him, trying to get past someone. And
you watch the you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, and as Desmond just mentioned, it's
so predictable. What the hell?
I'm sure CHP is going to back off again.
Yeah.
He's really booking at Astros. He is going like 140.
Really some of those cones right there. I mean,
enemies one
of those cones at 120. I mean,
I don't know if that's the case. I don't know if these bikes are going to flip over a pebble.
But
the
other thing that we've been seeing is not just zigging and zagging across lanes, but into and out of construction zones.
That sounds a little fantastical, a little dramatical.
Outrageously a dangerous pursuit.
Cause of change. I think it's just speeding.
Have they changed up units? Sometimes we've seen where they've
I don't know.
Different jurisdictions, or if they've been following
Not a
them
pebble.
for a
That
while,
doesn't
they might change up formation.
She's being dramatic.
So we're kind of straddling two of the CHP offices.
A little dramatical. Imagine losing
which is the one that started this, which Des and I always joke have a motorcycle chase every night. Yeah. And then we're also in the.
All right, I'll try and find out more about this chase.
So they've been handing off. As they go into San Bernardino, they'll give it over to Rancho Cucamonga, and then he comes back, and they give it back to the Baldwin Park unit. So they are at least getting kind of a little bit of a break as he crosses the county line, which is good for those officers. We did that one a couple weeks ago where they were all in the same area, and it was the same officers chasing them for like almost 2 hours. So these guys are at least getting a little bit of a break as they cross the county lines.
Certainly more than this motorcycle.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know why.
And with it so dark outside, there's also
how this started
very dangerous
exactly
situation. And this the motorcycles, like even for the suspect. And Mike, we were talking about this, how all of the tricks and the tactics from CHP are kind of thrown out because it's a motorcycle. So what do? Just let the suspect go until, like you said, he runs out of gas, or he just stops, and we have that incident that Pat talked about.
They need to reevaluate the firing.
Over. Yeah. I mean, that would be best case scenario if you choose to stop at a stop sign. But the motorcycles are such a hit and miss thing. I mean, CHP could go into tracking mode.
And I wonder, Rusty, I wonder as well. Like, why
easily slip the helicopter?
Why are they doing this?
They can get under
the question is, why are they doing this?
We've seen them go through parks under trees.
Just let him go.
Like, do a lot. They have so much more maneuverability as a motorcycle to even ditch the air unit, whereas a typical car doesn't have that much flexibility.
And at this point, as we're looking now, it just seems they're playing this, I don't want to say game, but this sort of is. Like, I'm faster than you, and I know I'm in trouble because I've broken some laws here, but the most prolific one we've seen is that he's just driving fast and recklessly.
Yeah. What do they know that we don't?
The longer it goes on, sometimes.
Do they
it
just
takes
want to
life.
do this tonight? Is
Takes
that
life,
is this just
especially as Desmond mentioned on the freeways here.
Whatever.
In Southern California. And interesting, I guess they're not doing anything ahead because what could they do? You know, we've seen them sometimes slow down traffic ahead. But in this case,
yeah, he's just going too fast. They can't. I mean, they could set up a traffic brake behind the officers, but that doesn't really do a ton. And the fact that it's kind of on again, off again, the freeway, that's also challenging. I mean, the traffic brakes kind of only work when the vehicle is, or whatever they're chasing is going slow enough to not catch up to the traffic that's already on the freeway. But in this situation, he's going so fast, you know, they wouldn't be able to stop enough traffic to keep the freeway clear.
Gotcha. And once again, this motorcycle pursuit starting in the Laverne area went far into the Inland Empire, then came back into LA County. Now here back on the 60, got on some side streets, some surface streets at one point, had a close call getting back on the, getting off the freeway at one point and then getting back on, trying to trick CHP, but they are on his tracks as well as they have been since we got on this. Mike, you talked about it being launched at around 10:45, and here we are at 11:28, and this motorcyclist has covered a lot of ground and going to speeds of over 120 miles per hour.
Yeah,
maybe he's famous, I guess.
I mean,
maybe
motorcycles don't have terribly large gas tanks.
Right.
I mean, if he's going 120, 130 for a very consistent period of time, it's not going to last him forever. And we never were able to obviously get in the heads of these suspects, but I mean, he's got to know that he's a motorcycle rider.
Yeah,
In
Liam,
theory,
they
he
can't.
owns this
They can't do
motorcycle.
shit.
He's got to
Like
know
they
how
can't
long
use
it
a
can last.
spike
So
strip or
you sit
a-
here and you think, well, what is
You know,
what
they
does he
can't
think
really
the
do
game
much.
plan is for all of this?
Tom, what's
Obviously,
up?
CHP's not giving up. You know, there were at one point
And sick
2
boy
helicopters
Rick, what's
overhead.
up?
Now there's just the CHP helicopter, but what's the end game when this is all done and when you can't continue anymore?
yeah, CHP and Des. So,
Yeah.
so there are definitely eyes on this motorcyclist. You know, it's interesting. We talk about that area of the 10 and the 605 where these things usually happen. He's going back eastbound. So, you know, you wonder, is there a pattern? Is there an end game here? He was going 60 westbound turnaround. Now he's going back the other way.
Yeah, you know, and I thought maybe when he got back on the
There's
when
no
the freeway
plan,
goes
man. He's
eastbound,
just
I thought
driving.
maybe he figured out that when he went through the construction zone, they backed off, and maybe that's why he was trying to cross back through that construction
He
zone.
does,
But
Sean.
for
He
whatever
does
reason,
have
when they went
Twitch.
eastbound through the construction zone, the sergeant didn't make
He
him
shows up
discontinue
sometimes.
This time he let him stay with him. So if that was his plan, that didn't work. But yeah, we are coming kind of back to the place where he was before. We're just about
Push the like
southwest of
button.
the
Yeah,
Ontario
Tom, let's
airport
go.
here, which is where he was.
Press the
Freeway,
thumbs
here we
up,
go.
the like. Okay, here we go.
Exit.
Yep, back off
He's
the
getting off
freeway.
again.
All right, Des.
And the cop
at
just shows
Euclid,
up
which
right away.
I believe
He takes an exit and boom, the cop's right
we were
there.
on Euclid.
Yep.
Because we heard about, I think when he cut from the 10, he used Euclid to get down towards the 60. So
I don't
let's
know.
see what they're going to do and if they're going to answer your question, Pat, if there is some kind of strategy here. I mean, I'm frankly thinking that maybe this is one of these motorcycles or the one that
He
has
just
been
ran a
running
red
from
light.
Baldwin Park almost every night, and they just think, oh, all I got to do is speed up and get away, and they'll disengage eventually, just basically daring CHP
Okay.
to,
Right.
you know, pursue them. But it seems like tonight CHP is calling their bluff because, like I said, maybe they're just
So
tired
this
of
is
it,
a
or if
nightly
it's just
occurrence?
you know, a particularly aggressive sergeant that's on duty tonight, allowing this pursuit to continue. But you know, at some point you got to imagine that CHP just gets fed up with it, and maybe, I guess you could say, maybe doesn't set a good example to just let motorcycles get away all the time just because they accelerate away from
Yeah,
you.
maybe
They also
Astros,
had the
maybe
benefit of the
repeat
helicopter
offender.
to be able to keep up with this tonight at the beginning.
They
of the
don't wanna
pursuit.
put up
So,
with the shit this
not sure what
time.
the logic is on other end, but it really seems like this motorcyclist is just daring CHP to continue this, as we are now at about the same speed on the freeways. We are really upping the ante now at this point. Now 115 miles an hour on Riverside Drive, where there could be potholes, there could be anything in the middle of the road. There could be someone that's pulling out of a driveway, something like that, in the center lane here. So, boy, just when you thought
Wow.
it couldn't get any more dangerous, even more amplified now.
You just blasted through that.
Jeez.
And Desmond, you called it. You can't help but to point out
Why
just
are
how
these
skilled
chases
that
in the
CHP
San
officer
Gabriel Valley
is,
recently?
especially as this motorcycle maneuvers
Where's Clear
suddenly
Joker?
fast, getting off the freeway onto these surface streets, but CHP officers right there behind him.
Yeah, they have done a really remarkable job in keeping up. I mean, on the 60 freeway.
All right, we're
had
almost
to
at the
do some
15-minute
pretty
mark.
fast maneuvers there, when the motorcycle was able to split lanes between a couple cars. CHP had to go across several lanes to make sure that they were still in pursuit of this person. But you know, now we'll see if they're going to continue this, because it is even yet another level of danger. Look at this, on the wrong side of the road even for no reason. So it really just seems like this maybe this is, you know, a veteran pursuit suspect that has been in other ones. I mean, the way that they are behaving right now, that would be my working theory.
Yeah, that I'm going to get away.
Okay, new prediction up.
Mike, can you tell us about this East Riverside Drive that he's on now? How far?
He can take this all the way to the 15, and then it looks like it kind of parallels the 60.
Southbound Archibald.
Is he slowing down?
Yeah.
A little bit here as we make a southbound turn on Archibald, well into Chino Hills. So I believe this will take us down towards the Corona area. I'm not sure how far Archibald goes down, but we're basically paralleling the 15 freeway right now, well west of the 15.
Okay, that was my next question. Does he have access to another freeway?
Archibald will go all the way down
Fell
until
asleep.
it turns
What's
into
up?
River Road, which will then put him kind of smack dab in Corona. So,
There must be a one. Yeah, there must be. Hey, what's up, Big Merle? Like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's not. Oh, here it goes.
We're going to be done here. Yeah,
Here it
sure
goes.
looks like it. And
Well.
now let's see what happens here. Maybe
He's
out
getting
of
off.
gas. Look at this. They just
Oh.
and we are done.
And
I think he
hands
might have
up.
run out of gas, or maybe this was their home or what. But just like that, from danger to handcuffs in less than 60 seconds.
All right.
Okay, so that was his modus operandi. I'm just going to go as far
That's
as I
it.
can. I'm
Sure,
rather
what's up?
enjoying
Welcome,
this.
but
Maybe
yeah,
I've got
this is
the
it.
adrenaline going that I can get away.
He just got
from,
off the bike. That was pretty crazy one. I mean, he was driving fast. He was being really reckless.
Now I'm done.
And
But-
Mike, is it me? But that.
Yeah, I mean, it's the best
Yeah, we
outcome.
say, but
Richie's
from 0
right.
to
Like, just
100,
glad he
it went
didn't
to
die.
100 to
Glad that
0 very, very
Really
fast.
nothing terrible happened.
And you know, I never heard a registered owner's address, so who knows if he lives here. But I hope you enjoyed it. That felony evading is going to be that's a serious charge.
Well, you know, the interesting thing, too, Desmond, it would be interesting to find out if this is a guy that's been trying to get away from them before.
Our nightly motorcycle chase.
Yeah, that has engaged in these kinds of pursuits.
Yeah, we don't need
just
anybody
got
dying
I
on the
would
stream.
I would really love to know. I mean, I'm just wondering if this is their house, or if he was just nearly out of gas and tried kind of one last Hail Mary there, going 115 on that street to see if that would get them to disengage. But they said, not tonight. We are going to stick with you to the end, and they did. And now he is going to jail.
All right. Well, Desmond, we are going to call a code 4 on this high-speed pursuit tonight. And with that, we want to thank you for joining us for KCAL News.
All right, that's it.
On CBS. Stephen Colbert is next.
Shout out to Stephen Colbert. All right, guys. Code 420. It has been a while, Sean, but honestly, it's only like happened to me like one time. So, I don't know. Maybe it won't happen again. Okay. GG, thank you. This is the end. So the news station, this is as late as a police chase can possibly fucking happen. So there won't be another one. I will not see you any later tonight. So maybe tomorrow. Hey Gina, bye Gina. DJ, what's up? Yeah, it's over already. It was about 15 minutes. 15-minute chase. All right.